Hello everyone. The great interest manifested in the life story of successful men and women which have been published from time to time in the Managing Success have extracted tree production in book from many of trees scripts have been revisited and rewritten and new ones have been added. They all contain two elements that make men and women successful, and they are intended to show that charger energy and an indomitable ambition will success in the world and in the land where all men are born equal and have an equal change in life. There is no reason for despair. I believe that the idea book for youth showed that with economic experience for that watch that take from real life is men more effective than that which is called for fancy. Change it building it developing energizing force has been made the best probably of the work. To all who have aided me, I express a grateful acknowledgement and the none more that to teach which life story are here related as a lesson to young people. Amongst three who have given me special assistance in securing these life stories are Mr. Harry Steele Morrison, Mr. J. Hibbert Wulst, Mr. Curly Grelly, Mr. Henry Larding Drow, and Mr. Just Wilk. I am confident that the remembered exhibit of successful cats made in the book carries based no sound business principally and honesty will meet with a participation on the part of the reading public. This world renowned merchant in not early assembly in interview, and he is no from his business assemblement it there is no story more significant, none more full of encouragement and inspiring for youth. In relating it as he told it, I have removed my own interjection so far as possible from the interview. I was born on Conway, Massachusetts. He said in 1835, my father from was among the rooks and hills of the citizen and not very farty. All the people were poor in Tuesday. My father was a man who had good judgment and he made a success out for the farming business. My mother was a more intelligent built. Both my parents were unsickly. That three boys should amount to something in life, and three interest and care helped me. 20 I had but few book security and it speak of. That was not much time for lighted source book as we had. I made use of. I had a learning toward business and took up with it as early as possible. I was naturally of a saving disposition. I had to be trust we are saving times. $1 looked very big to a US boy in trust day, and as who had differently lower in earning it, we did not quickly spend it, however, determined not to remain poor. Did you attend both school and college? I attended the common and night school at home, but not long. I had not college turning in debt. I cannot say that I had much of any public school education. I left home when 17 years of again. Of course, had not time to study college. My first venture in trade was made as clerk in a country store, a potty split Massachusetts, which where everything was sold, insulating dry goods. I remained for 4 years. You picked up my first chronology of business, saved my earning and attended story to business, and to made trust 4 years. Believably to my 21 before I went west, my employer officer me Coulter interesting in his business if I would remained with him even after I had been here served year here with, and offered me a trade interest if I would go back. But I was already too well placed. I was allowed interest in the community side of life. To this I began my energies, and I allowed trust would be American. I inquired as a clerk in the dry goods house of clergy, would sourced a school in South Westchester. There was not granted at the time that this place would ever become the Western metropolis. The town had plenty of ambition and pluck, but the possibility of granted were hardly visible. It is interesting to note in this connection how close the story of Mr. Philid projects is connected with changes marvelous growth. The city itself in its relation to the West Way and operating a parallel almost extra may be drawn between an individuality care and the growth of the town. Changzhou was originally in 1837, 2 years after Mr. Philid was born on the farm of Farm in New England, and the place that had 20 a popular of a little more than 4 translated in 1856, where Mr. Philid fairly incorporated for a successful mercenary care, become a resource of the factory metropolis of the West. The popular had grown to little more than usually for trusted. Mr. Philid prosperity advanced with the growth of the city. With Changzhou was stricken but not crescent by the Great War of 1871, and with Changzhou he advanced again. He higher assemblement and far greater prosperity than before. The climate where your equipment for success when you start as a click. Here a change in 1856 health and ambition and what I B2B to be sound print pally answer Mr. Flood and where I felt that in a glowing town no one had to with a promotion good business quality where promoted discovered and men were pushed forward rapidly after 4 years in 1860 I was made a partner and in 1865 3 was a partial resolution and the film consistent after that of Mr. Litter, Mr. Putnam and myself, Flood, Putnam and Litter. 2 years later, Mr. Plummer, we dream and will 1881 and style of the film was filled later of com. Mr. Later 22 retarded in that year and since then it has been at a present Marcel Flood Escon. What contributed most to be get growth of your business? I escaped to answer that question. Said Mr. Flood will to be review the condition of the West from the time change began went to fear to 1871 everything was coming that way imaging reliefs and water differ and change was enjoying flash time. We are turning a learn about the country and the men who learned to coexist first to best for instance the competition newness of reward communication and statement made a chronology of local solvency impossible. The old state banking system probably and expedition of every king was remonted. I cash base the partner of 1857 should almost everything allow export the house I worked for and learned that the reason the suburb was pieces the strong the nature of the new country and did a cash business that is they bound for cash and sold no 30 and 60 day interest of giving the customer trust financial condition you could hardly treat anything 24 about all the time the wanted when the fancy come they had no debates and little owing to trim and so they waited it all right learning when considered my best lesson and that was to do a cash business when we are some of the principle to a pilot is your business question. I made to print that a good should be expensive with they were represented to be. I was a rule of the house that an extra security of the quality of the goods purchased should be minimized and the nothing was to intendency the house to place upon the market any line of goods at a should of verification from trust real value every article should must be registered as wanted and